Have you ever wondered how plants bring new life into the world? It turns out that just like animals, some plants require two parents to create offspring. This process is known as sexual reproduction. On the other hand, certain plants can make copies of themselves with just one parent through a process called asexual reproduction. An example of asexual reproduction can be seen in moss plants, where spores shed from the plant give rise to brand new moss individuals. Consider two types of vascular plants, Angiosperms and Gymnosperms, that reproduce by producing seeds. Angiosperms create seeds within flowers, and this category includes a vast array of plants like fruit trees, flowers like roses, and even mighty oak trees. A crucial part of their reproductive process is pollination. This is when pollen grains carrying sperm, male cells, from the male part of the flower, called the anther, are transferred to the female part, the stigma, which houses the ovule, female cell. This transportation of pollen is facilitated by wind, water, or animals like birds, bats, and insects, often referred to as pollinators. When these pollinators are gathering nectar, pollen can attach to them and be deposited on another flower. If the pollen moves from the anther to the stigma of the same flower, it's known as self-pollination. However, if the pollen is taken from one flower and ends up on a different flower's stigma, it's called cross-pollination. Once the pollen reaches the stigma, fertilization takes place. The sperm and ovule combine. The fertilized egg, or zygote, undergoes repeated cell division to form a seed. On the other hand, gymnosperm plants typically produce their seeds within cones. Prime examples of gymnosperms include Scotch pines and Douglas fir trees. These plants have male cones known as pollen cones that spread pollen to female cones, often through the wind. The sperm in the pollen fertilizes the egg cells within the ovule of the female cone, causing seeds to form within the female cone. These seeds are eventually released once they are fully mature. After being released, seeds can either drop directly beneath the parent plant, or they may be carried afar before they start growing. This scattering of seeds is referred to as dissemination. Many seeds are carried away by wind or water. Some hitch a ride on animals' fur and drop off later, and some even travel via fruit consumption by animals. If an animal eats the whole fruit, including the seeds will pass through the animal's digestive system and be released onto the ground. Every seed is precious because it carries within it a miniature plant called an embryo. The seed safeguards the embryo until the environmental conditions are right for it to grow. At that point, the seed sprouts, growing into a brand new plant. As this plant matures, it will undergo the same life cycle, ensuring the continual propagation of its species.